compound interest and deducting the formula for compound interest and rate of compounded annually and half yearly. Let's start with the simple interest. As we know, we have discussed earlier in previous classes about the simple interest, and particular amount, the principal is 10,000 rupees and rate of interest is 8% and time is 2 years, and interest we need to find out. We have one of the formula we have deducted in previous class, that is I is equals to PTR by 100. I is equals to P into T into R divided by 100. So this is principal and time is, this is T is time and R is rate of interest divided by 100. And if we take this and calculate this using this formula, and we'll be getting interest for this particular amount, how much we need to pay additionally to this principal. So 10,000 plus interest totally we call amount of we need to pay totally. So that is amount is equals to principal plus interest we call. So we need to pay an additional amount, the additional amount of the particular principal, that is called interest. So we will find out this interest using the formula of PTR by 100. So this principal along with the interest we call it as amount. So first let's find out interest using this formula. So that is P is, we know, 10,000 rupees. 10,000 rupees and T is 2 years, and your R is, we know, 8%. So 8 divided by 100. So let's cancel. 2 zeros will be getting cancelled. So 100 into here 16. So 2 8s are 16. 1600 rupees. This is only the interest we need to pay additional to the principal. So what we have discussed, the principal and along with the additional amount, how much we need to pay, and that is totally together we call as amount, and the additional amount we need to pay along with the principal is 1600 rupees. So 1600 rupees we call it as interest. So let's find out amount. So amount is equals to principal plus interest. Principal is 10,000 rupees plus interest is 1600. So 10,000 rupees and along with the interest is 1600, and total amount we'll be getting is 11,600 rupees. So this is the amount we need to pay, and after end of the 2 years. So when the principal is 10,000 rupees and rate of interest is 8% and time is 2 years, at the end of 2 years we need to pay some amount along with the principal, that is 1600 plus 10,000, so 11,600. So this is the process of simple interest. We will pay some extra amount additional to the principal. So let's go to the next concept, that is compound interest. We know compound interest, simple interest we have discussed. In similar manner we will do the compound interest also, but if it is given for compounded for 2 years, then we will take the 2 years here, but the 2 years will be taken for each and every year. If it is 2 years, I will take for first year, and then we will find out the interest for first year, and we will add that interest to the principal, and we will get amount, and that particular amount will be taken as the principal in the next year. So then we will calculate the interest for that. So after getting the interest for it, and we'll add the previous principal what we have got. So we'll add both, and the principal plus interest will be getting amount for that. So that amount what we call as the total amount we need to pay for at the end of 2 years at compounded annually. So this is the process of doing the compound interest. So let's discuss by doing this example for compound interest. So let's use the same thing. The same values we'll do for compound interest. That is, let's see this problem. This problem is the sum of the money is borrowed by Ravi is 10,000 rupees for 2 years at the rate of 8% compounded annually, and compounded is set annually. So for each and every year we need to calculate. For the first year we need to calculate the interest, and then that will add up that continuous process. We will do it. That we call the compound interest. So let's calculate for first year and the next year, because total number of years are 2. So let's start with the first year. So first year, as we know here, there is a first year. Time is 1 year. Let's take 1 year, and the remaining things are same as it is what we have taken here. So already 10,000 rupees. Rate of interest is 8%. For the first year is 1, and in this place we will be getting 1. So 1 into 8, 800. So 800 will be getting in this place. So 800. So the previously what we have done for the simple interest, directly we have found for the 8% for 2 years. So 1600 we got. There is no change of interest for the first year and the second year. Compounded, not compounded annually. So it's a directly for both years it's same. So we have calculated directly for the 2 years, that is simple interest, and annually for compounded annually here we have taken the first year. Let's find out for first year 800, and then 10,000 rupees plus 800. So 10,800 rupees. This is 10,800 rupees, and this is compounded for 1 year. We have calculated. See, let's see here. This is compounded for 1 year. The reason is we have calculated for annually for each and every year we need to calculate, and then the compounding, it's nothing but, and what is the amount we are getting? This amount we need to take it as the principal in the next year. So this amount will be taken as principal in the next year. So principal is equals to 10,800. The time is, we know, for the first year and 1 year only. This is because for 1 year we have calculated, for the next year the time period from that time particular time. So 1 year we are calculating. So that's why every time we take 1 year annually, because we need to calculate for annually. So 1 year we have taken. So rate of interest, as we know here, 8%. So let's find the 8%. So T is the last amount we have taken as a principal, 10,800, and time is 1 year. Rate of interest is 8%. So let's use the same formula, and then we'll find out the interest for it. So I is equals to PTR by 100. PTR by 100. So let's use that. So P is 10,800 into time is 1 year. 8%, 8 divided by 100. Let's cancel this both. So 2 zeros will be cancelled. So 108 into 8. So let's multiply 64 and then 164. So 64, 8 here. This is 864. So this is rupees in rupees. So totally interest is 864 rupees along with the 10,800. So let's write the amount, total amount we need to pay after end of the 2 years. Let's take the previous principal, just before what we have calculated, on what we have calculated this interest, that is 10,800 plus 864. Let's add these both the numbers, that is 4 and 6 and 61, 1, 6, and this 1 and 1. So 11,664 rupees we need to pay at the end of the 2 years for annual compounded annually. So at the end of 2 years compounded annually. For this is the process of finding the compound interest. Let's recall. For the first year we have found, and we found the interest, and we have added to the principal. Then we got some of the particular amount. That amount we have taken as a principal in the next year, because for annually we need to calculate for 2 years, 2 times. So P is 10,800, time is 1 year, rate of interest is 8%. Then we applied the formula, we got one of the interest, that is 864. We added for the previous principal, then we got one of the number, that is 11,664. And we'll use the same process for the number of years, like 4 years, we'll do the 4 times. And 3 years for number of 3 consecutive times continuously we'll do that. So this is the process of finding compound interest. let's go to the next concept, that is detecting the formula of compound interest. So up to now we have discussed about compound interest annually. That is the sum of money is borrowed by the Ravi at the 10,000 rupees for 2 years at the interest of 8% compounded annually. For 2 years compounded annually. Find the compound interest we have done. For the annually we have done. Let's do for half yearly. We done for annually. For each and every annum, that is for 1 year. So the first year we have calculated, we got this, and we took this amount as a principal, and we continue the same process. We got the interest and we added the same thing. So this process is a compound interest and compounded annually. This is the same thing. So let's do with the half yearly. So let's do some changes with the years. Let us take 1 year for this. So to understand very easy. So in the place of annually, let's take half yearly. Let's find out by the half yearly. So the same process will continue how we have done for the previous. So for previously what we have done, the same process let's do that. That is amount we need to find out in the first case, and the second case also we need to find out the amount as a principal. Let's find out the same thing. So first the first half year, this is the first half year, and the second half year, because we know totally this is 1 year, and we know that this is 1 year. We need to calculate at the rate of 8%, and this is the amount how much we get there. Let's find out. So this principal, this amount what we are getting, the amount what we are getting here, the same thing we need to take as a principal. The last amount what we have got here, that we need to take as a principal the next following half year. So compounded half yearly will come. So let's recall, we have taken 10,000 rupees 8% in the half year. This is called half yearly, compounded half yearly we call. So first half year, and we'll use the same formula. We'll find out the annual amount for this. This amount we'll take it as a principal, and we'll use the next half year. This is half yearly, next half year we call. So this is a principal time rate of interest, PTR by 100. So we apply that formula again for next half year. And combinedly for this half year and the next half year plus half year, for 1 year we call. So whole half 1 year. So for 1 year we are finding for this. So let's start with the first half year, because we know half yearly. So first half year, we know the PTR by 100, what we are calculating for the same formula. For P is 10,000 rupees, and T is half year, because this is half yearly. So R is 8%, it's not changed at all. So divide by 100, let's find out the interest. This is only the interest we are finding. So 2 zeros will cancel, we get 100, and this is 8 into 8. So let's cancel this 4 times. So we get into 4, because 2 zeros get cancelled. 100 into 4 we got, that is 400. So this is the 400 rupees we got. 400 rupees we got here, and we need to calculate the amount. Amount we need to calculate. Principal is 10,000 rupees, and the amount, interest is, what is the interest? Is 400. So 10,400 rupees. We get here 10,400 rupees. This is 10,400. So let's use this amount as a principal in the next half year. We'll do the same process how we have done for annually. This amount is taken as a principal. So 10,400, let's write here 10,400 rupees as a principal. This amount becomes principal. The next half year we are finding half yearly. So half year, T is 1 by 2, R is 8%. Let's apply this. So principal is 10,400 rupees, and time is half year, and rate of interest is 8. divided by 100. We know that. So let's cancel this 2 table in this 4 times, and 2 zeros will be cancelled. So we get this is 104 into 4, and after multiplication we get 416 rupees. So that is only the interest we get. So amount is equals to interest. Amount is equals to principal plus interest, as we know that. So previously what we have taken, previously what we have taken here, the principal that we need to take now, this is 10,400 rupees plus and 416 rupees, that is total is 10,816 rupees, and this is the amount we need to take at the end of 1 year. So that is compounded half yearly. So the amount is given for this for 10,000 rupees. So this is a concept about rate of compounded half yearly. Let's go to the next concept.